Tomorrow could see the beginning of the end of acid house parties.
With the police seemingly powerless, in 1990 Tory MP Graham Bright entered the fray.
Graham Bright, the MP for Luton South, is bringing in a private members' bill which could result in organisers being jailed and their equipment seized.
But making the parties illegal only attracted more criminals.
I was kidnapped 3 times. By 3 different groups. So, I had shotguns in my mouth, and, which was very, very, very scary. On that particular occasion, I've got to admit, I cried my eyes out.
I think in a way we failed because we drove it underground. And when we drove it underground, there was far more dangers, and there was far more thuggery, and there was extortion.
We're only trying to do some parties, and that's what I would say to them. We're only trying to do some parties, man. It's no big deal.
I think there was a kind of unconscious reaction to the idea that Margaret Thatcher had propagated, that there is no society. And I think people created their own societies unwittingly in defiance of that statement.
It's great to see how it kind of broke down all social barriers, but racial barriers as well, in the sense of, we wanted to dance to one kick drum and this is it, bang.
During that time, when we named ourselves, when there used to be all those big London orbital raves where you'd drive around the sort of Potter's Bar service station ringing up a secret number and finding out where the next rave was. And they were sort of marching around the M25 towards us until one appeared about 2 miles away from our front door, which was crap, actually. It was a crap party. Absolute rubbish in a big cow tunnel.
Inspired by Chicago house, Detroit techno and the M25 rave scene, Orbital's chime signalled Britain's total mastery of the new dance music.
Yeah, I can turn that on and off and that brings that sound in and out. These are MMT8s, these are what we use live. They're basically little hardware sequencers. They work in a system of each machine has 8 loops, 8 different pieces of music if you like, that they're all loops round in time, but then each machine has 100 of these groups of 8. This is all sort of going round. I might think, let's have some drums. And let's change the sequence at the same time. So I'll push that along. And there we are into another part of the song, This is going round, it's a different pattern now, hence the different tune. Might do something like this, put the bass line in, take the drums out, and then sort of prepare myself for something a bit bigger, and bring all the drums back in. And there we go, chime, in a live fashion.
So you press that on there, it's got the sampler playing that, and then I've got the mixing desk, and you can then, you can mess around with the sound.
Sort of played it to Jazzy M, and his eyes nearly popped out of his head.
It was quite unique, and it was a unique sounding tune. It had all the kind of acidy twitterings in it, reverse strings. Matt, it was just a great record, very, very original.
He was listening to it on headphones, and he was selling all these records on a Friday evening to all the DJs, and he said, look, I can't play it out loud, I've got to, be selling people things. And he listened to it and went, hang on a minute, whipped his records off and played it, and just stood there laughing. All these people going, oh, I'll have one of them, oh, I'll have one of them, oh yeah, I'll have one of them, and all these DJs asking for it, saying, you can't have it, it's a tape.
The only way to actually cut that record was from that cassette, which I did.
But it actually came out slow because I recorded it on my dad's tape deck, which actually ran slightly fast, so it's actually like a couple of BPM slower than it was supposed to be.
When we actually licensed it to FFRR, because Pete Tong went after it to sign it up, to save kind of face and embarrassment, we put the cassette onto a DAT, a digital audio tape, to actually then sell to him, so it wouldn't look too cheap.
That's the greatest example of how it all goes right from signing a 12-inch record that ends up being a 10-year career, and they're on their 7th album.
That was the actual Ozone logo there, and this is the only TP, as you can see, Chime 122, Deeper, the B-side.
Have you got some?
I've got one.
Yeah, I don't even know whether I've got one of these. They're worth 50 quid now. It's like, Jesus, I wish I had a packet full of those.
I don't think anyone's ever got close to them, you know.
And that Chime record was just so different, and to see those two guys standing on top of the pops doing absolutely initial, when all around was like Rick Astley or whatever was on at the time, I can't remember, as well, and they were just standing there like, dun, 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 you know. It's just like brilliant. It was tops.
By the end of the 80s, the house music of America had effected a massive social and cultural revolution in Britain. Over the next 10 years, it was to show no sign of stopping. Come on.
The book Pump Up the Volume, priced $9.99, and the official double CD History of House featuring tracks from the show are in the shops now. To order your copy, call 0870 1234 344 or click on to channel4.com/shop.